Welcome to the ASTRALX Deep Dive, illuminating your path. I'm Solarian Zephyr, your cosmic strategist.
And I'm Lunaria Celine, your intuitive guide.
We bridge celestial wisdom,
Unlock your modern path.
discover guiding starlight insights, explore powerful cosmic energies. How do planetary transits shape your story today?
And today we're really focusing in. We're looking at a fascinating blend of energies, specifically for 2025. This deep dive, it's all about an archetype we're calling the Velvet Inquisitor.
The Velvet Inquisitor, okay. And the sources we're drawing from, they give us this incredible roadmap, right, for this specific journey in 2025.
Exactly. It's a detailed look.
Yeah, at the planets, the potential bumps in the road, but also the big opportunities. And that symbolic meaning for anyone who resonates with having a Scorpio Sun and a Libra Rising.
Think of it like your personal cosmic blueprint for the year ahead.
Right.
We're pulling back the curtain.
Right. So let's start there. Let's really understand this archetype. Who is the Velvet Inquisitor, fundamentally?
Well, it's a really profound mix, a fusion, you could say, of two quite distinct energies that somehow work together. First, you've got the Scorpio Sun.
Okay.
The source material calls this the shadow alchemist. This is your core identity, right? Someone naturally drawn to what's hidden, to depth. You've got this innate power for psychological insight and, crucially, for transmuting darkness. Turning poison into power, essentially.
Wow, that's intense, that deep transformative core, and then paired with Libra Rising.
Precisely. The Libra Rising is, well, it's how you meet the world. Your outward persona, how people first see you. The source labels this the diplomat of equilibrium.
Diplomat of equilibrium, I like that.
Yeah, it's the part of you that seeks harmony, that sculpts balance, and does it with that classic Venusian grace and charm.
So you have this really deep, intense, maybe even a bit dark, transformational core, but it's wrapped in this poised, graceful, justice-seeking exterior.
You've got it. And the specific calling for 2025, according to our sources, is to consciously broker peace. Not just out there in the world, but also between the darkness and light within yourself.
Ah, okay.
It's about using that Libra charm, that diplomacy, but channeling the Scorpio depth and intensity through it. Using justice, really, as a tool for profound transformation, like a crucible.
That combination. It sounds incredibly potent, maybe a little tricky to manage sometimes. What really jumps out to you there? How might those two energies, the shadow worker and the harmony seeker, actually, play out for someone on this path in 2025? It's not choosing one, is it? It's the integration.
Exactly. It's all about the integration. And that leads us perfectly into the bigger picture, the quantum astrology landscape for 2025 from our source material.
Yeah.
Because the major transits, they're significant, and they hit this archetype in really specific ways.
Right. This is where the cosmic weather really shapes the terrain for the Velvet Inquisitor's journey. So first up, Pluto, big one. Planet transformation power, the underworld, moving through Aquarius. And for this archetype, Scorpio Sun Libra Rising, that lands in the 12th house.
And the source uses some powerful imagery here. It calls this placement collective unconscious entanglement.
Collective unconscious entanglement.
And what that suggests, basically, is that Pluto in your 12th isn't just about your personal shadows. It's activating deeper collective stuff. Transgenerational patterns, hidden energies from way back. It triggers, and this is a direct quote, a quantum communion with ancestral ghosts.
Ancestral ghosts. Wow. That sounds pretty mystical, but maybe a bit heavy, too. What does that look like practically?
Well, it means that very deep-seated stuff, maybe inherited trauma, maybe wisdom, maybe unresolved family patterns, even things from the collective human story. It's all getting stirred up. The source suggests your dreams in 2025 could feel like encrypted messages from this deep level. And time spent alone, solitude, it's not just downtime, it's actually a potent space where your soul's fundamental code is being rewired by these Plutonian energies. It's a deep alchemical process happening, beneath the surface.
So while the Libra Rising diplomat is navigating the world, Scorpio Shadow Alchemist is doing some really intense, almost subterranean work.
Exactly. Hidden, but profoundly transformative. Okay, moving on. We have Saturn, planet of structure, lessons, karma in Pisces. And for you, this is happening in the 3rd house.
Saturn in Pisces in the 3rd. It governs communication, thinking, siblings, short trips. What's the vibe there, according to the sources?
The source frames it quite poetically. It says, this is where the karmic lattice, think of that as old, maybe rigid ways of thinking and speaking, starts dissolving in Neptune's liquid language.
Dissolving the structure.
Yeah. Pisces and Neptune bring intuition, empathy, flow, maybe even blurring boundaries. So the core idea is that your communication this year isn't meant to be just logical or rigid. It's getting infused with intuition, compassion, a real sensitivity.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
And how does that connect to the idea from the source that your words become like spells?
Well, because those boundaries are softer, the energy behind your words is less contained, more potent. The source really emphasizes that your thoughts, and especially what you say out loud, have this amplified, almost magical ability to shape your reality in 2025.
Wow.
But with that power comes responsibility, right? The source highlights the absolute importance of ethical articulation, choosing your words with like surgical precision and deep compassion, understanding the weight they carry.
That's a huge call for mindful communication. Especially important for the diplomat side of the archetype, I imagine.
Absolutely. Okay, then there's Jupiter. Planet of expansion, luck, opportunity. It's making a big move. Starts 2025 in Gemini, then shifts into Cancer around late May, early June. For you, that means Jupiter goes from your 5th house to your 6th house.
All right, 5th to 6th. How does that energy shift feel?
Well, before June, with Jupiter and Gemini in your 5th, the source calls it a creative supernova.
Supernova.
Yeah. The 5th house is all about creativity, passion projects, joy, self-expression, romance even. Jupiter here just blows those areas wide open. It's a time for, playful exploration, sparking new creative ideas, maybe big leaps in how you express yourself.
Sounds fun, but then the shift comes.
Yes. From June onwards, Jupiter moves into Cancer and into your 6th house. Now, the 6th is about daily work, routines, service, health. The source calls this phase sacred service resonance.
Sacred service resonance, okay.
So that expansive energy, it shifts from the big creative explosion to finding something sacred, something meaningful, something genuinely resonant in your day-to-day grind, your work, how you help others.
So less about launching big flashy projects, more about finding purpose and, expansion in the everyday stuff, making work feel more meaningful maybe.
Precisely, finding the alchemy in the ordinary. And finally, the eclipses. Can't forget those. The source flags, significant ones in Aries and Libra, March 29th and September 17th. These hit your 7th house, partnerships, and your 1st house, self-identity, really hard.
Eclipses, they always feel like cosmic turning points, don't they?
Oh, definitely. Cosmic wildcards, they bring fated events, speed things up. The source calls these ones relational supernovas.
Relational supernovas.
Because they fundamentally demand radical authenticity. In your key relationships, that's the 7th house, and in who you fundamentally are, the 1st house, they force you to look at where you might be compromising your truth to keep the peace, or where your own identity needs a serious update based on your connections. These are likely to bring big shifts, endings, beginnings, breakthroughs in your closest bonds and your sense of self. And what's really fascinating, I think, about this source material is how it connects all this cosmic stuff right down to the body. It talks about somatic resonance, how you might actually feel these shifts physically. The body knows, it suggests.
The physical echo of the planets.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Pluto and Aquarius in the 12th, that deep ancestral dive, how might that feel?
The source gets specific. It describes possibly feeling ice fire currents in your bone marrow and occipital lobe during dreams.
Whoa! Ice fire currents.
Yeah, not just a metaphor. It suggests a real physical sensation tied to those deep ancestral downloads, that unconscious rewiring, affecting your core structure, the bone marrow and the dream vision center at the back of the head, the occipital lobe.
That definitely gives a physical reality to that quantum communion idea. And what about Saturn in Pisces in the 3rd? That challenge around speaking truth ethically.
Here, the source mentions a potential feeling of throat constriction with metallic taste when silencing truths.
Like your body physically reacting to holding back.
Exactly. It's that pressure from Saturn to structure your words, clashing with the Piscean urge for empathy, maybe leading you to swallow difficult truths. Your body literally feels blocked when your voice needs to be clear and strong, but ethical. The source even suggests sipping honey lemon tea as a kind of symbolic remedy, soothing that constriction, reclaiming your voice.
A little practical magic. Okay, and Mars, planet of action, assertion. It's heating things up in Leo in your 9th house during July and August.
Right. 9th house is beliefs, philosophy, higher meaning. Mars there brings fire, passion, maybe conflict around your core ideas. The source connects this to a possible solar plexus inferno during ideological clashes.
Solar plexus inferno, like a fire in the gut.
Yeah, exactly. When your deep beliefs are challenged, or when you're really pushing them forward, you might feel this burning intensity, this nervous energy right in your solar plexus. And the suggested embodiment practice is grounding. Stand like a monolith, palms pressed to earth, rooting that fire.
It's striking how specific these potential physical signals are. And the source mentions key body zones too, right? Places that are particularly active for this archetype in 2025.
Yes, it highlights the hands, the pelvis, and the throat. The hands, connecting to Libra interaction, balance, diplomacy. The pelvis resonates strongly with Scorpio core power, life force, deep instinctual energy. And the throat, well, that's central for communication, truth, that Saturn in the third transit.
Hands, pelvis, throat.
Yeah, these might be areas where you feel the transits most acutely, or where focusing your attention or specific embodiment practices could be really effective.
So the message here is really pay attention to your body. Listening to those subtle signals, or maybe not so subtle ones, that could be a key way to navigate these intense energies. Your body is part of the guidance system.
Absolutely. And the source doesn't stop there. It also provides some really cool context by looking at historical and cultural echoes. It shows how this Velvet Inquisitor energy has kind of shown up before in real people and in art.
Well, that's helpful. Makes it feel less abstract, more real. Who do they point to?
Well, think about Mahatma Gandhi. Classic Libra Rising example, right? You see that nonviolent diplomacy, the constant striving for justice and balance, but underneath, that relentless, transformative will of very Scorpio kind of power. He used grace strategically to wield immense influence.
Right, the velvet glove hiding the iron will. Federico Garcia Lorca.
A Scorpio Sun. His poetry, his plays, they dive right into the dark, passionate, often painful truths of being human, classic Scorpio depth, but presented with such exquisite artistry, such aesthetic grace that's the Libra influence shining through.
Ah, I see that connection.
And the source sums up their combined legacy perfectly. Your velvet glove hides an iron will, your justice dances with shadows. It's that complex, powerful blend of strength and subtlety.
And the cultural comparisons. Those help make it relatable too.
Yeah, they're quite evocative. The source suggests thinking about the chilling psychological depth of Hannibal Lecter, that uncanny Scorpio ability to see right into the darkness, but merged with the unwavering ethical compass of Atticus Finch. The deep integrity, the Libra commitment to what's right.
Wow, Lecter meets Finch. That's quite a combo. Intense insight guided by strong morals. Cinematically.
Think about the psychological tension, the complex manipulations in something like Gone Girl, fused with the demand for truth, the ethical standoffs you see in A Few Good Men. That blend of mind games and a fight for justice.
Okay, I get that. Music.
The source suggests Leonard Cohen's deep, dark, truth-telling vibe, especially an album like You Want It Darker, meeting the smooth, sophisticated charm, that unforgettable grace of Nat King Cole.
Cohen and Cole. Depth and elegance.
Exactly. These comparisons really paint a picture of how multifaceted the Velvet Inquisitor is. It's not one or the other. It's the constant dance between the depth and the diplomacy, the shadow and the light. And importantly, the source material doesn't just describe things. It offers an interactive journey. Practical ways you can actively engage with these energies, embody them throughout 2025. It calls this the alchemy of balanced power.
Right, moving beyond just knowing about it to actually doing something with it. So the first phase suggested connects to that intense Pluto in the 12th transit. It's called ancestral awakening, running roughly January to May.
Correct. And the key question to ponder during this time to guide that deep shadow work is, what inherited secret fuels my power? What ghost must I finally embrace? It's about consciously engaging with that ancestral stuff Pluto is stirring up.
And there's a suggested ritual. Around the Scorpio full moon in May, using an obsidian mirror.
Yes, the Obsidian Mirror Communion. Obsidian is great for scrying, for shadow work. The ritual involves writing down a family secret or pattern you want to address, holding it up to an obsidian mirror under moonlight, really seeing its reflection, and then safely burning the paper while affirming something like, I claim my shadows, I transmute my blood. Symbolic act of facing and transforming that lineage baggage.
Powerful. And an embodiment practice, too.
Bone hum liberation. The idea is to sit in darkness and hum the lowest tone you can sustain, really focusing the vibration inward. Imagine it vibrating through your bones, especially your pelvis, shaking loose any old poison or stagnation. It connects back to that ice fire currents idea, a way to physically release.
Okay, then the next phase, truth and eclipse alchemy. This covers March to September, the time of those big Aries-Libra eclipses.
Right, so after that Aries eclipse hits your partnership house in late March, the questions become really pointed. Where did this eclipse expose self-betrayal in relationships? What warrior diplomat must I become? It's about seeing where you've maybe compromised your core truth for the sake of harmony.
Ouch. Necessary questions, though. And the ritual for the Libra full moon eclipse in September, hitting self and other. The scales of revelation.
Yes, using Libra's symbol, the scales. You take a black rose symbolizing Scorpio's depth, the shadow, and a white rose for Libra's balance, purity. Place them on a scale. Then you add drops of red wine representing life force, truth, maybe even pain to one side until they balance. Then you bury the roses together, maybe with an intention like, my truth harmonizes my power. It's a ritual about integrating your shadow and light, especially within relationships and your sense of self.
And the embodiment for this phase, involving the 1st and 7th houses.
The 7th first house pendulum. This one you do ideally with a trusted partner. You stand facing each other, gripping wrists. Then you physically pull apart, feeling your own strength and separateness. That's the 1st house selfhood. Then you gently draw close again, feeling the connection, the 7th house union. While doing this, you might whisper, I am complete alone. I choose connection. It's about physically feeling that dynamic tension, that balance between autonomy and intimacy.
I like that physical representation. Okay, finally, the phase called creative sovereignty. This is June to December, after Jupiter shifts into Cancer and your 6th house of work and service.
Right. Once Jupiter moves and the focus shifts to finding meaning in the everyday, the questions become, how can my daily work become sacred theater? Where must precision serve passion? It's about consciously infusing your practical efforts with deeper purpose and maybe even artistry.
And the ritual here is for the Libra new moon in September, the Velvet Anvil ceremony.
Yeah, this one symbolizes shaping your reality with both power and grace. You take a hammer, but wrap the head in velvet or silk, there's the velvet glove again. Then you intentionally strike an obsidian slab representing raw, intense material or maybe a difficult situation 3 times, maybe saying, I shape beauty from brutality. Afterwards, you place a piece of rose quartz for love, harmony, Venusian energy onto the cracks you made. It's about bringing healing and beauty even to the tough stuff.
Creating purpose or art from the depths. And the embodiment for this.
The solar plexus forge. This ties back to that Mars in Leo, fire in the belly feeling. You kneel, place your hands on your solar plexus, breathe in, visualize molten gold or fire gathering there. Breathe out strongly, imagining it solidifying into golden armor, inner strength, protection. And as you exhale, you roar the Scorpio power sound. Vem.
Wow.
Yeah. It's about consciously claiming and directing your personal power from your core.
These practices sound really potent, using tools like obsidian, roses, the scales.
Yeah.
They offer concrete ways to really engage with these energies, don't they? Not just let them happen to you. It's an invitation to be an active participant in your own transformation.
Definitely. And looking even further ahead, the source material offers some fascinating future forecasting. It outlines 3 potential paths of justice that could unfold for the Velvet Inquisitor, depending on the choices made during 2025.
Showing how conscious navigation really matters. What's the first potential path? The redemptive diplomat.
Yes. This path emerges if you really embrace the work of Pluto in the 12th and Jupiter in the 6th. Here, you consciously channel that deep ancestral stuff, stirred by Pluto, not into destruction, but into restorative justice. Your daily work, amplified by Jupiter, becomes a vehicle for global healing networks. Think like UN-level peace initiatives or transforming justice systems towards rehabilitation. The key choice here, the source says, is finding a way to forgive perpetrators without ever excusing the harm. A really high-level integration.
Wow, that's profound. Challenging balance for sure.
Yeah.
What's the second path?
The shadow legislator. This one comes from mastering the eclipse energies and that fiery Mars in the 9th house. The confrontations triggered by the eclipses, fueled by Mars-driven conviction, lead you to expose corrupt systems. Maybe through groundbreaking lawsuits, whistleblowing, maybe provocative art that forces change. Big impact. But, the source warns, this path likely creates dangerous enemies. The key choice becomes about how to protect your loved ones while you're busy dismantling empires.
High stakes, definitely.
Yeah.
And the third path, the cautionary one.
That's the silenced tempest. This is what happens if you resist the deep inner work of Pluto in the 12th, and maybe shy away from the ethical articulation demanded by Saturn in the 3rd. If truths stay unspoken, the source suggests they can manifest as chronic illness. If those ancestral ghosts aren't integrated, they might fuel self-destructive patterns or obsessions. The result could be public backlash, creative blocks, even psychosomatic issues. The key choice leading here is consistently prioritizing a false sense of harmony over necessary, even difficult, truth-telling and conflict.
These 3 paths really underscore that 2025 isn't just fate, is it? For the Velvet Inquisitor, it's shaped moment by moment by the choices made around integrating all these powerful, sometimes conflicting energies. shadow and light, intensity and grace, truth and harmony.
Absolutely. And the source provides a really potent mantra for the Velvet Inquisitor to hold throughout 2025, a kind of touchstone that distills the essence of this archetype's power and calling.
Let's hear it. What are the words for this journey?
I am the blade, and the balance cutting lies with one hand, weighing hearts with the other. In the courtroom of shadows, I sentence only to resurrect.
I sentence only to resurrect. Wow, that really captures the transmutation piece, doesn't it? Using that Scorpio intensity not just to expose or judge, but ultimately for renewal.
It speaks volumes, I think, and the source sums up the core astrological alchemy really well. It's how that Libra rising refines Scorpio's raw power into strategic elegance, creating that warrior poet energy. How Pluto in the 12th empowers you through that deep ancestral work, unlocking hidden strength. And how Saturn in the 3rd really pushes for that ethical speech, ensuring your potent words are used wisely.
So the inner depth truly informs the outer action, the outer grace.
Precisely. As the source puts it, when the Inquisitor's depth dances with the diplomat's grace, revolutions wear velvet gloves. So the question for you, navigating this year, as you feel into that potent balance between your own depth and diplomacy, between the shadows being stirred and the call for light and harmony, what version of justice will you choose to manifest in your story?
As our cosmic journey concludes,
Dive deeper into your unique path.
request your email audio reading now.
Find the link in the description below.
Explore episode resources and links.
All details are waiting for you there.
Ignite. Think. Become.
Subscribe for Starlight Insights.
Thank you for joining us.